everyone, and welcome back to Sauti Briefs, where we discuss current conservation topics in Kenya and Africa. My name is Natasha Nyangara, and before we proceed with today's episode, have you checked out our YouTube channel? If not, go check it out and subscribe. Follow us on our social media pages at Uvumbuzi Africa on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We would greatly appreciate your support. Without further ado, let's do this.
Earlier this week, a blazing fire raged across Kenya's Aberdare National Park. The incident resulted in the destruction of 500 hectares of grassy moorland around the Eburu area. The inferno, which broke out on Saturday night, was successfully contained on Monday, thanks to the tireless multi-agency efforts by the KWS, the KFS, community members, and conservation organizations. The cause of the fire has not been determined conclusively. However, according to the preliminary observations of the responding agencies, it is strongly suspected that the fire was a result of deliberate human conduct. The park's warden, Mr. Nasorongolo, contended that the fire was started by honey gatherers who were harvesting the liquid gold in the northern part of the moorland, which then spread rapidly due to strong downhill winds. In further contribution to the investigations, the executive director of the Rhino Ark Charitable Trust said that an aerial survey of the incident revealed 5 distinct fires, greatly implying criminal activities. The Aberdares is an important natural heritage in Kenya's global profile. It is the third largest mountain range in the country, reaching a summit of just over 4,000 meters. It is also an extremely important water catchment for the Tana River system, which provides much of the water supply for Nairobi and adjacent counties. The park lies 100 kilometers north of the capital Nairobi and is home to spectacular waterfalls, lush bamboo jungles, as well as a variety of wildlife, including leopards, elephants, and the critically endangered black rhinos. Forest fires in Kenya have become more rampant and widespread in the recent years due to an increase in both reckless and intentional human activities. This happens when people clear land with fire for domestic grazing, gathering honey, and for charcoal production. Open burning on nearby agricultural fields to prepare the land for harvest also causes fires to spread into natural vegetation in mountainous areas. However, the most important factor that affects fire risk is the weather. Under dry, windy conditions, a small fire can easily spread and become difficult to extinguish. This was a huge challenge for the firefighter team at the Aberdares and heavily contributed to the extensive destruction, which experts say will take years to regenerate. Uvumbuzi Africa believes that it is important for citizens to be mindful and understand the consequences of their actions towards our natural resources. The Mount Kenya Trust, which was also engaged in the fire containment exercise, continues to engage citizens on the importance of conserving forests by sensitizing members of the community on actions that could destroy vital biodiversity. They continue to conduct civic awareness on human actions that may destroy our forests because the community, the country, and future generations will ultimately pay the price. A big thank you to all the stakeholders who jumped into action to contain the fire. You are the real heroes. We also urge all Kenyans to be more conservation conscious in their interactions with our natural resources. The Mau forest has sparked heated environmental debate in recent years regarding its conservation status. The forest is rapidly decreasing and the consequences are felt across the country. The Mau forest, which is recognized as East Africa's largest indigenous montane forest, has been severely impacted by land use changes and poorly planned human settlements. Since 2018, the Kenyan government has been actively taking steps to rehabilitate this forest. This began with the eviction of tens of thousands of people from the reserve in an effort to counter the effects of its rapid degradation. And while there remains political debate surrounding these evictions, the government and stakeholders continue to find ways to harmoniously balance the ecological integrity of the forest and sustainable human development. The evictees continue to be enlisted to create tree nurseries and support alternative livelihoods as a way to more constructive approaches. More recently, the construction of a 30-kilometer solar-powered fence around the forest was completed. Also, the Kenya Forest Service launched its innovative partnership model called Adopt a Forest that aims to attain a 10% tree cover by this year. Conservation begins at home, and the Ogiek community of the Mau Forest have proven this fact. The Ogiek are one of Africa's last remaining forest dwellers, with a population of roughly 30,000 individuals. They are traditionally hunters, wild fruit and honey gatherers. Their unique way of life is inextricably linked to the Mau Forest's vast biodiversity and natural resources. In fact, the term Ogiek literally means caretaker of all flora and wild animals. Some members of the community began working with the KFS 3 years ago to restore the forest complex and encourage conservation as well as sustainable livelihoods. Volunteer community members have planted over 60,000 native trees in 4 separate blocks within the Mau Forest. The KFS relies on the Ogiek's indigenous knowledge of the forest to give intelligence on illegal loggers and forest fire starters. The volunteers from Nakuru County formed a group under the Ogiek People's Development Program, which works with the Kenya Forest Service Rangers, who provide them with uniforms and radios. They are organized into 18-person teams that cover different areas of the Mau Forest. The OPDP members use traditional cultural approaches to encourage their community in restoring and conserving the forest complex. Further, the Kenya Water Towers Agency has been delivering free beehives to forest communities such as the Sengwer and Kipsigis communities to support forest conservation through beekeeping. The institution also educates beekeepers on modern, ecological ways of beekeeping and honey harvesting. We commend the OPDP for taking charge of the conservation of the Mau Forest and continue to support the efforts of all stakeholders in the rehabilitation of this natural gem. As we conclude today's episode, we would like to give a shout out to the community-led mangrove reforestation initiative, the Vanga Blue Forest Project. The members of this initiative continue working effectively to conserve and restore Vanga Bay's coastal ecosystems. Uvumbuzi encourages and promotes the entrenchment of community participation in environmental stewardship and applauds the Vanga Blue crew for their work.
As always, thank you for watching this video. If you have any questions about the topics covered today, please feel free to engage with us in the comments section. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you catch the next episode when it's hot. If you know about a community conservation initiative making a difference in your area, please let us know so that we can feature them on our Sauti Conservation web series. For now, it's Asante. Until next time.